This week on Top of Mind, we're at Dark Horse in Lenexa, Kansas to talk about some of the unique challenges associated with starting a distillery. I'm John Robinson, and this is Top of Mind. Today on Top of Mind, we're on location at Dark Horse Distillery, and I'm joined by Damien Garcia, co-founder and director of sales and marketing. Thanks for having us, Damien.
Well, thank you for coming out today.
Why don't we get started by you talking a little bit about how you co-founded Dark Horse Distillery.
Okay. Well, I co-founded Dark Horse Distillery with my three other siblings that we started back in 2010. It's my brother Patrick, who's our master distiller, my brother Eric, who's our general manager, and my sister Mary, who runs our event space here. So we started back in 2010 and started construction on the space here, mostly on the production side of things, making sure our equipment was good to go in here. Started ordering equipment, started getting all the pipes, drains, everything done. And roughly about June of 2011 is when we started producing our first batches of our, what would be now called our Dark Horse Distillery Reserve Bourbon Whiskey and our Dark Horse Distillery Reunion Rye. Mm-hmm. Shortly thereafter, we saw how nice the space looked and everything as far as a production standpoint, and then we ended up putting our event space in, started construction on that, started doing all the cosmetic stuff on the other side of where we're at, sitting in this room is right here. So
you were open for business as an event space, and a beautiful event space, mm-hmm. Before you were able to pour one glass of product.
That's correct, yes. So we started kind of later in 2011 is when we hosted our first kind of an initial run of a couple of events here, mm-hmm. Just to make sure we worked out all the kinks and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so after that, 2012 is when we kind of ran full steam with the events.
Sure.
In that year, it was March of 2012, is when we launched our Dark Horse Distillery, our Rider Vodka, okay. and our Long Shot White Whiskey. Mm-hmm. So these were actually the first two items that came out to market. Mm-hmm. And then 2013, April of 2013 is when we launched our bourbon and our rye.
Great.
So,
talk to me about the kind of the unique experience of co-founding a company with three siblings. Is your Monday morning meeting kind of like Thanksgiving dinner, where you're all coming together and squabbling and that kind of thing?
No, actually, it's not like that at all. Yeah. We all get along here. Yeah. Everything goes well with us. We all have our own roles, mm-hmm. that we play within the company, and we really come together, mm-hmm. and kind of talk about what's going on within our own segment of what we're doing, you mm-hmm. know, and everything goes well. Mm-hmm. And that's what when we came together to form this company, we all knew we had mm-hmm. set roles.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
I came from a sales and marketing background. Mm-hmm. My brother Patrick didn't come from that sales and marketing background, but he was in financial planning and stuff. But okay. back in the day, he worked at a microbrewery.
Right.
So,
right. And then took a lot of courses or put himself through some experience to learn the distilling process.
Correct.
Didn't break ground here, never having touched a still before, presumably.
That's correct. That's correct. I mean, he toured other craft distilleries. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of hands-on workshops with a lot of other distillers, mm-hmm. And really was the man behind the scenes of what was going to go on here as mm-hmm. far as the production and all the equipment and stuff goes. And then my brother Eric came on, and he's our general manager, of mm-hmm. course, and
mm-hmm.
he's a lawyer,
mm-hmm.
And he came on to help us. In this business, there's mm-hmm. a lot of laws and a lot of paperwork, mountains of paperwork. Everything has to be legit, taxes, mm-hmm. all that type of stuff. So he was able to help us maneuver a lot through that, and and actually coordinated a lot of what was going on here internally. My sister Mary came on, and at that particular time, we really weren't sure yet if about the event space. But she came on, and she was going to be kind of helping us out here. And then when the event space idea kind of that light bulb came off in our head, it was a natural fit for her.
Great. So you mentioned the importance of having an attorney as one of your co-founders.
Yes.
And the spirit or the craft distilling craft spirits industry is one that is highly regulated for good reason. Can you talk a little bit about your early experiences? Every startup has certain legal hurdles that they need to overcome. Yes. They need to become familiar with a regulatory environment. But I would think that the burdens would be a little bit greater on a new craft spirits company. So can you talk a little bit about your early experience there?
Yes. And when we first started this, I mean, we had mountains of paperwork that we had to go through. We had a mountain of documents that we had to fill out. And that's the one thing that he was able to kind of help us out in doing. And then also it kind of came up when we started looking at what Kansas state law required from us. We had to go through that paperwork again.
Sure.
The first paperwork was all federal. Second one was all Kansas state. And when we first started, we were in lack of a better term, we were a manufacturing facility.
Sure.
Okay, so we started as a manufacturing facility of spirits, and we wanted to, though, really bring people to this spot. We wanted to bring people to this place, but we weren't able to do tastings or samplings within our place of business here, and that was due to the law of Kansas, the state law of Kansas. So what we did was back in 2011 is we started the process of trying to get the law changed within the state of Kansas to help us be able to do samplings, bring people here.
Okay.
With the craft distilling experience, with the craft distillery movement, it's all about showing people what you do, telling people, sharing in what you do, and showing people the product, the process, letting people taste your spirits. And so we started doing hired a lobbyist, started working behind the scenes for the state, within the state of Kansas, going to Topeka frequently, and we ended up actually getting a micro distillery license that was passed by the state. And we ended up getting that micro distillery license. And what that micro distillery license tells us is that anything at 100,000 proof gallons or less, we are considered a micro distillery. And with that license, we were able to now be able to bring people through here, give them samples of our spirits, be able to do tours, having people be able to buy souvenir packages of our spirits when they leave here. We also had applied for a liquor license for our event space as well, so we also have that license that we have now as well.
Okay.
So it's been a long process and a bunch of different hurdles that we've had to overcome to get this thing started. And we just hope that we can continue to help out a lot of those other craft distilleries that are going to make their way through Kansas eventually and stuff too. So,
can you talk a little bit about how craft distilling is both disrupting the spirits industry, but also maybe how it's a reflection of or a driver of a change in consumer taste? I mean, in the popular notion of spirits is that bourbon comes from Kentucky, and vodka comes from Russia, and tequila comes from Mexico. But that's not necessarily now the case, and why is it important that Kansas City has its own craft distillery?
And that's the one thing about what craft is.
Yeah.
You have a lot of craft distilleries. That movement has started within this nation, and it's just continuing to. More craft distilleries are continuing to open their doors, and what we do is very different from the guys that have been in business for years, the bigger companies, the bigger brands. We kind of, for craft distilleries, they try to keep everything as local as possible. Everything as local as possible. They do a lot of different things with their spirits. They do a lot of different mash bills. They can tweak things here and there. The big guys, the big brands have been around for many years.
Yeah.
Those mash bills have never changed.
Yeah.
And it's really for that consumer to look maybe at something that's a little different from what they've been drinking for their whole adult lives.
Yeah.
And it's something that what craft is all about. I
Yeah.
mean, when you have something like this here in Kansas City, or you are able to come and see the process, you're able to come and see what we do. And that's what a lot of the craft distilleries are doing across the nation.
Yeah.
Bringing people in, showing them their process, showing them that, showing them the grain, everything. And I know you can do distillery tours in Kentucky and all those other, and some of the bigger guys, but but their process is a lot different from what a small batch distiller's process is.
Sure.
And this really kind of goes hand in hand with the craft brewery movement. Okay. When you see a Pilsner particular brewery is doing. Microbrewery, it's going to be different from the big guys, what their flavor is.
Sure.
From one that's been out there for many years. So that's kind of like what we do. It's making that bourbon whiskey different from the guys that are putting it out in Kentucky. The same thing with the rye whiskey as well.
Yeah.
It's making it different from what's been around since Prohibition, the vodka, and then doing something that's new and unique like the white whiskey.
Yeah. Here's to your future success.
Well, thank you very much. Cheers.